Okay, hey guys, super excited for this. This is number three in our back to basics training. And something I hear a lot is I don't have anybody else to talk to, or I've talked to everybody. And I also know from experience that if, as we are trying to grow through social media, especially if you don't have a job that you go to Monday through Friday. Like if you have a job that you go to Monday through Friday, you're around people by nature of being leaving your house, getting in a car and going somewhere, you're around people. Many of us are we work from home and we may have kids at home or we're retired. I mean, there's a lot of us on our team who we don't have that 9 to 5, get out of the house, be in front of people. So we do really, I think, depend on social media to help grow our brand and grow our connections, grow our network, and at the end of the day, really grow our customer base. And you'll hear it from the Plexus stage over and over. A lot of people, they're top business builders or people they didn't even know. I mean, Crystalline's on this call, and her best friend Tiffany is her best friend now. But they met what Crystalline on a garage sale site or something. Like, did she post and you
She
engaged?
posted in a Facebook marketplace and I commented and then we chatted back and forth for a couple weeks and then yeah, everything went from there.
Yeah, they didn't even know each other, and they went senior Ruby side by side, every rank together, and it was so fun. And now they talk all the time. So it really can be done and it can be done well, and it does not have to be done icky. And I think also one of the things that I want to share here is a tip that will prevent um, any of you who get caught in the scrolling trap of just scrolling and scrolling, and all of a sudden it's an hour and a half later and you haven't really built your business at all, but you know what I'm saying? Or you're commenting on people that are already ordering from you, or do you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give you a tip to help prevent that endless scroll. I think one of the important things as you are building your brand on social media is to identify what your brand is. Um, and it's obviously going to be different from everybody, and it will change, right? It's going to change. When I very first started and all four kids were at home and we had, four different schools and a million different sports, that's what my life looked like 10 years ago. Today, my life looks like a homeschooling mom with an autistic son, and he's the only one at home. So, totally different brand. So, it's possible that I am saying your autism. You are only level two. You're amazing. You're an amazing part of who I am. I get to be your mom. You're welcome. You're welcome. I love you too. That's my brand right there. Um, okay, so I squirreled for a second, but I heard something. I'm going to look it up exactly. Um, I think both of you, and I think probably many people who will watch this would consider themselves um, Christian. Not everybody, but most people. And I heard this today in a podcast about building your brand in network marketing and using this as the basis of it. And I was like, yes, it's so true. So Matthew 5:14 through 16. And this is the NIV version, so it's the easy to read version, not the King James version. But it says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So, what they went on to talk about in connecting it with network marketing and your brand is we each have an individual light. And I dare say for most of us, it is probably something really hard that we went through that now, if we are brave enough, if we share it vulnerably, can be a beacon of light to people who are going through it right now. You know, a lot of people will say when you are coming up with your brand is really who you were yesterday. And when I say yesterday, I mean the past few years, right? Because that's who you can talk to. That's who you can lead. Um, but you can only do it by sharing your heart. I say lots of times, and you guys have all heard this a million times, but if anybody's watching this training, you know, as a brain injury survivor and sharing it vulnerably and sharing everything that came with it, the depression, anxiety, the suicide attempts, the anger, the memory loss, by sharing that openly, what happens is complete strangers regularly connect with me to ask my thoughts, advice, encouragement, right? Because I bravely share. Does my husband like that I bravely share? Hates it. He would like everybody to think we have no problems whatsoever. It it was a problem, you know? And now with Andrew being diagnosed 2 days ago officially, that's a different thing that I'm going to be able to share our journey from. So be a beacon of light with whatever you have been through, as little or as big as you think it is, you probably can guide somebody who is struggling and not made it through it yet. Right? So think about that in your brand. Think about what God would have you do and glorifying him in your brand and let him lead the way. Of course, you have to take action. Peter had to get out of the boat. He didn't know he
Yeah,
could
you
walk
did.
on water. And until he got out of the boat, he could have kept floating forever and never known, right? Like, how many of us are just floating, letting the waves take us wherever? We got to get out of the boat. We got to have faith. Um, and so sharing vulnerably, knowing what your brand is, be brave. So then when it comes to growing your network, I want you to think about those parts of you. And I want you to start with maybe two Facebook groups, two or three Facebook groups that connect to that. So for me, getting a diagnosis 2 days ago, yesterday I went in and I joined Cincinnati. There actually is it's so niche down that I found a Facebook group that is Cincinnati homeschoolers of autistic kids. Well, okay,
Wow.
that might be my people that I don't even know I need yet, right? So join a few groups, get in there, connect. You can tell pretty quickly if the people are people that you might connect with, right? You probably don't want to connect with the person who is complaining all the time. Those aren't your people. And you don't want a negative Nelly on your team. So don't try to sell them anything. But there's also the people you can read it. They may not post a lot, but they may be in the comments of a post. They may be encouraging. They may be loving. What you could do is comment on theirs, like ditto. I love what you have to say. You know, your encouraging thoughts are exact. You took the words right out of my mouth, you know, and write their name down. Okay. So I want you to, if you feel like somebody is somebody that is similar to you that you can connect with, you got to write their name down because I promise you're not going to remember them. Don't be creepy and friend them on day one, but you can be on the lookout for them because do you know if you're in that group, you can type their name in the search bar and it'll show you any post or any comment they've made. You can continue to interact with them and then you can friend request them, right? And still you're not gonna, you might send him a DM that was like, seems like, we're on the same brain track in that, Facebook group, just wanted to connect, you know, more personally or whatever, and leave it at that. We're not selling on Plexus right now. But here's the trick. Okay, so imagine doing that multiple times a day. I'd like you to find 3 to 5 new people a day on Facebook or Instagram, but write down their names so that you can continue to connect with them. And if you, I love that I never think about the fact that my speakers are not hooked up to my computer until the days that I do a Zoom, because then I'm like, I needed to be on my computer and I can't because I'm on my phone. So here's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to show you this because to me, this is the ticket to not getting stuck in the scroll, because these people that you've added to your list, you want to relationship build with them in the comments on their posts. And then if they do something more personal and you want to send a personal DM, awesome. But again, building that relationship through comments, not the creepy, hey, have you ever heard of Plexus? Like right off the bat. So I'm going to turn my screen around. And okay, so here I'm just on my home screen of Facebook. Can you guys see that? Can you see that? Okay. All right. So what you're going to do when you have this bar on the left-hand side of your page is you're going to click on friends. So first step, click on friends. Then you're going to click on custom lists. So you can see here that I have multiple custom lists, but many of them I have not added to in a very long time. This is something I need to really dig into, but probably after the wedding. So I have a custom list that's called potentials because this is what I used to do all the time. Anybody that I would see on Facebook that I thought would be a good potential to my team, I added to this custom list. And so then what I can do is I can just go, let me see something. No. So right here, I can actually remove Amy Zelmer because, so you can just click on them. And then what you can do is just see what they've been posting and comment on it, right? So, and then you can go back, custom list. Okay, I may want to, check what Kelly's doing. Okay, her daughter graduated. But see how this is preventing me from just scrolling aimlessly. I'm only checking out the pages of people that I'm interested in. So let me make sure that I can tell you how to add people to a custom list. Let's see. All right, this is my mom. Is the first picture showing up? Let's see. Oh, I know how to do it. Hold on. Friends, custom list, potentials. Let's see. Add or remove. So I clicked on these 3 dots over here, add or remove, and then it actually pops up suggestions of people that aren't in that list. And so you can just click on these. A lot of these are people that have become my friends recently. So those are kind of great recommendations. But let's say I wanted to include my mom because, not as if she doesn't order the most from me anyway. But I typed in her name and I can click on her. Click. Now she's added to my potentials list. Save. Okay. You can also use this to keep up with and connect with your current customers. So this is very old, but Team Hope, I could click on and all of these people were active on our team. And so if I want to give love and support to people on my team, they're all in here and I could just say, oh, who haven't I connected with in a while? So you always want to be adding to your potentials list. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is groups. You know, Gina, are you in any sewing groups?
Yes,
And are you very active in those groups?
yes,
So, you know, maybe being very intentional in connecting with some of the people in those groups would be a good start. And you may
right.
be already. You may be already. And, you know, you may want to look at a different group. I mean, you also are, you know, older and you still work out every day, you know, or most days. So there's a lot of groups that you could be in, but I suggest, you know, one or two at a time because I don't think that you can be really intentional with 100 people at once, right? I feel like
I
kind of,
can't. I don't know about
yeah,
anybody else, but that's not me.
I think maybe 20 a month is good. You know, maybe cycle through 20 a month would be my
Now, give
suggestion.
the definition of cycle through.
Um, I would my when I say cycle through, I think if they haven't ordered from you, they stay in your potentials list, right? But I would
Hmm.
think probably every month you could add 20 new people a month. And but
Hmm.
in the beginning, for your 20, let's say your 20 people for May, those are the people you're really, really focused on. Those top 20. You're going to look at kind of what they're doing every day, every other day, and trying to connect with them. Because remember, the algorithm, when you're commenting on people's posts, they start seeing your posts. So you don't have to say anything about Plexus. When you're commenting on their posts, they're going to see your post. So if you are posting about Plexus,
Right,
they're going to see it without you ever saying anything.
right.
Okay. And so really dig deep with about 20 a month. And then again, you'll add to it. Um, add 20 each month. And then maybe the ones from when we get into June and you add 20 more, maybe the ones from May, maybe you only check in on them once a week, you know,
Okay.
less and less because, okay, well, I didn't get anywhere with them. Let me work on these, but I'm not going to totally forget these people, but I'm going to focus on these 20 this month and just dabble on the past 20.
Now, when you start in the week, when you just first start with them, are you saying you check on them and go to their post about every 2 days and
Mm-hmm.
comment?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Building the relationship by commenting on what they're posting about. What you will find
okay.
is some people only post like once a week. There's not
Right,
much to do or
right.
say. What you will also things to think about is um on no, I mean there are uber successful introverted people in our company who don't love to share out loud, who are more introverted, and they still make it to the top of the company. But the faster growers and the people that are more comfortable, you got to think like, hey, she's posting like a couple times a day. She has interaction. She would be really great at this. She's already on Facebook. She's already getting a lot of engagement. People love what she's saying. She would be somebody who would be great at this. That kind of person you're really going to focus on because she would be great at this. You're just going
Hmm.
to ask her to drop in some Plexus post, like if she orders, like people who already are posting regularly, adding in something that they like is no issue. The hardest people, in my opinion, to help be successful are the people who don't post anyway.
Okay,
Do
right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like if you really connect with somebody, but they only post every third week, but also they may have in their pictures where other people are tagging them in pictures, and there's lots of people, and you might realize, hey, they're super well connected. They're just not sharing it. They might be a great person because they go to lots of stuff. Maybe they're super engaged in their church or in their community center or at their gym, right? And you can tell they're showing up places because people are tagging them in posts.
Right. Okay.
So just things to look out for,
A
things to
lot.
watch for.
Right. Okay.
Any questions?
No, I appreciate that because I've got several that we have been communicating with, and we've gotten to the point, I ask them different things about their fabrics or their sewing, and then they'll say, oh, I'm sewing for my daughter or this and that. And so I keep up with them that way. And that helps me because I know that I can go ahead and step in. There will be a time pretty soon I can ask something, just by the
Absolutely.
way. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, something that might be easy to drop in, Gina, with these people that you're already having conversation with is
Uh-huh.
sharing that you're about to go to Las Vegas for a convention. Most people are going to say, oh, what's your convention for?
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Right?
Yes. Don't mention anything. I'm just going to go take a trip with a bunch of girls.
I'm going on this trip to Vegas in a couple weeks and I'm so excited. Have you ever been to Vegas? Like you could do this in the DMs. What would, it's been a while since I've been. Have you
Right.
ever been? They're going to ask you what you're going for. And then you tell
Right.
them, going for work. You're going for work. I am I've never mentioned it to you before, but I sell, health supplements that have been remarkable for me and my family. And we got a big convention in Vegas and it's going to be amazing. What do you think I should do while I'm there? So see how you're like telling them what you do, but then you're circling
I
it back around
understand now.
where
Yes.
they have a way to engage.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
And then they might say, what company?
Okay.
Okay, but you're asking them questions that are not obtrusive, not salesy. It's just a natural flow. It would be how you would talk to them in person.
Right.
Right? You're not going to
Right.
monologue. You're not going to walk up to somebody and go, I'm going to Vegas, with my daughter and my granddaughter, and we're going to learn more about selling supplements. Have you ever heard of Plexus? Hey, you really need this gut health. You should, you would never do that.
No,
You
no,
would
no. That won't
say,
work.
have you been? So just a tip and kind of do those things,
It's a huge tip.
and I think
I
that
can
that
do
is
that in person, but never mind. I do that in person. I just need to visualize doing it this way and not listening to the little thing. Oh, but you got to ask them. You don't have to ask them anything about that. If it doesn't
no,
come up, it's not supposed to.
correct. You're just building relationships. um and the key there is to not get stuck in relationship building for years. You want to
Yes,
find ways, but this going to convention really is a natural way to bring it up.
right. There's so many leads in that one conversation without
Yes.
mentioning anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, any other questions? Okay, I'm gonna stop.
You've given a
um
lot. Thank you.
Thank you.